Hi, today I'm going to read for you the second half of The Amazing Adventures of Hercules. Okay, so in the first half, in the chapters 1 to 3, we found out that Hercules is born from a god, and one god didn't like him very much, Hera, and Hera put a curse on him, and then he killed his family. And now he's trying to get forgiveness by doing 12 tasks. Okay, so we're going to read about the other tasks. Okay, so chapter 4. Rivers and Birds. King Augeas roared with laughter when he heard the task. Oh, come and see my stables, he chuckled. No one has cleaned them for 30 years. One day, impossible. King Augeas was right. The stables were dirty and very smelly. Hercules had a good look around, thinking hard. Then he smiled. This should be easy, he thought. Early the next day, he started work. First, he knocked a big hole at either end of the stables. Used his club. Then he climbed a nearby hill. There, two rivers met and flowed down a valley. Hercules started to dam them up with huge rocks. Okay, so he's blocking the river. Only 100 more to go. He worked all day in the hot sun. By the evening, the rivers ran a different way, towards the stables. The rivers gushed through the holes he had made, taking all the dirt with them. In minutes, the stables were sparkling. Just before sunset, Hercules unblocked the rivers and mended the stable walls. The fifth task was finished. So here, all of the cows are like, hey, my house is wet. The sixth task was to kill a flock of terrible birds. The birds ripped animals apart and feasted on them. Sometimes they even ate people. Hercules set off again. The birds lived on an island in the middle of a marsh. Hercules tried to row there, but the marsh was too muddy. Soon his boat was stuck. He's not happy. He's stuck in the marsh. Marsh is like a wet area, okay? Like a swamp. How could he reach the birds? Maybe the goddess Athene will help me, he thought. In a flash, she was there. Take this golden rattle, she said. If you shake it, you'll terrify the birds and they will fly up. When they fly away, you'll be able to shoot them. The rattle was so loud, Hercules was almost deafened, but it did the trick. Soon the birds were wheeling above him, shrieking in fear. Ah, rah, rah. Back on land, Hercules shot the birds as they flew off their island. He took the biggest to the king. So those are the terrible birds. Chapter 5, Bulls and Horses. The bird didn't look very dangerous. Now it was dead. Ha! That's just a little bird, said the king. Go and catch the great white bull in Crete. One more task. He's always working. Crete was an island far away, so Hercules found a ship to sail there. Its ruler, King Minos, welcomed him and led him into his beautiful palace. I've come for your bull. Oh, please take it. That bull is a menace. It's like a dangerous thing for people, said King Minos. It's killing people and wrecking the island. Hercules found the bull in an olive grove. So here's the olive trees. A grove is a small forest. It pawed the ground with its monstrous hooves and snorted fire from its nostrils. So here, nostrils. As Hercules tried to creep up on it, the bull saw him and charged. But Hercules was wearing the skin from the lion he had killed and was protected from the bull's fiery breath. He grabbed the bull's terrible horns. The bull fought wildly, but Hercules clung on. At last, the bull grew tired and collapsed. When the king saw the bull, he was terrified. Bring me the horses of King Diomedes, he squeaked to Hercules. They eat people. Sounds like bad horses. Hercules, I'm Diomedes. Come on in, my friend. So Hercules went to Diomedes' castle, taking 4 friends with him. Diomedes seemed friendly, but Hercules didn't trust him. Diomedes. I think Diomedes plans to kill us, he told his friends. We'll have to get the horses tonight. When it was dark, they crept down to the stables. Hercules broke down the stable doors. The savage horses were chained to a beam, and he quickly chopped them free. Chop. Hercules and his friends hurried to their ship with their horses. But before they could escape, King Diomedes heard what they'd done. He grabbed some soldiers and rushed after Hercules. I'll get him for this. Diomedes was no match for Hercules and his friends. Soon all the soldiers were dead. Hercules himself killed Diomedes and gave him to the horses. Hercules killed the king, and then the king's body he gave to the horses, and the horses ate the king. Once the horses had gobbled Diomedes up, they became quite tame. Now, back to that silly king in this pot, said Hercules. Chapter 6. Amazons and Ogres. Hercules' 9th task was to fetch the belt of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. The Amazons were fierce women warriors, and no one had ever seen them. Hercules took a ship full of brave men to hunt for them. Tough women. To Hercules' surprise, Hippolyta was friendly. I've come for your belt, he told her. You won't need to fight for it, she said with a smile. You can have the belt as a present. Queen Hippolyta's nice. Are you sure? She laid out a wonderful feast for Hercules and his crew. Not bad. But the goddess Hera was still jealous of Hercules. She hated to see him having fun. So she disguised herself as an Amazon and joined the feast. So disguised here means that she put on a costume. Okay? So now she looks like one of the Amazons. Hercules is here to kill our queen, she whispered to the women. Don't trust him. The Amazons jumped to their feet. They attacked Hercules and his men with their swords. You tricked us! No, you tricked us! In the fight, Hercules killed Hippolyta. He grabbed her belt and ran. Back to the ship, he roared to his men. He killed Hippolyta, the queen. He killed the king, Diomedes. Hercules. But the Amazons charged after them. A terrible battle began. For hours, it looked as though the Amazons would win. Hercules and his men fought on. In the end, the fierce women were defeated, but many men were badly hurt. Feeling very tired, they headed home. The men could rest, but Hercules still had 3 tasks to go, 10, 11, and 12. Find Geryon, the 3-headed ogre, and bring me his cow, said the king. Geryon lived on an island near Africa. It meant another long and tiring journey. Helios, the sun god, felt sorry for Hercules. He sent him a water lily chariot to use as a boat. Hercules explored Geryon's island and soon spotted the ogre and his cows. But before he could get to them, a ferocious, 2-headed dog jumped out at him. Hercules whacked the dog with his club. The heavy blow killed it at once. Hercules went on towards the cows. The ogre was standing in the middle of their field. Hercules hid behind a rock. Here's Hercules. And fitted a poisoned arrow to his bow. He's enormous. Bigger than Hercules. Hercules is big. The 3-headed ogre, Geryon, is scary. As he stood, the ogre would be difficult to hit. "Geryon!" Hercules yelled, and the ogre turned. Quickly, Hercules fired his arrow, sending it right through all three bodies. Geryon dropped down, dead. Hercules herded the cows onto the water lily boat and hurried back to the king. So he's bringing the cows, Geryon's cows. Chapter 7. 2 tasks to go. "You took too long," said the king grumpily. "Go and find the tree of the Hesperides. I want 3 of its golden apples." The tree was at the end of the earth, where a great giant Atlas held up the sky. A difficult job. "How can I get the apples?" Hercules asked him. "First, you must kill the dragon guarding the tree," said Atlas. "But I'm the only one who can pick the apples." Hercules found the dragon, shot it dead, and went back to Atlas. "Now, if you would hold up the sky for me, I'll go and pick the apples," said the giant. Hercules waited and waited. Atlas, he's taking a vacation. Atlas took his time picking the apples. He was in no hurry to go back to holding up the sky. "I'll offer to take the apples to the king myself." But Hercules was too clever for Atlas. "Before you go to the king, can you show me again how I should hold the sky?" he asked. "Thanks, Atlas. Bye." She's like, show me how to do it." Oh, you got it? Goodbye." Sometimes Hercules is smart, not just killing people. The 11 tasks had taken 10 years. Hercules was exhausted, and there was still 1 task to go. "Fetch Cerberus," said the king. "But that's the dog that guards the underworld," Hercules gasped. "Don't worry, we'll help." It seemed impossible, but the gods Hermes and Athene offered to show him the way. After a long, gloomy journey, they reached the river Styx. They had to cross it to reach the underworld, but Charon, the old ferryman, wouldn't take them. "Why won't you help Hercules? You know, I can only take dead people." In the end, Charon agreed to take Hercules, but he wouldn't let Hermes or Athene on board. Hercules landed safely on the other side and wandered among the ghosts. They whispered in strange, faded voices. "Look, he's alive! He has flesh and blood." He walked on through the land of the dead until he reached the king and queen. He knelt down before them and asked for the dog. "Please, may I take Cerberus?" "Okay, but you mustn't harm him." "I'll take care of him," promised Hercules, and hurried back to the river Styx to find Cerberus. Cerberus stood at the gate to the underworld. Each of his 3 heads had a mane of writhing, hissing snakes. He was truly terrifying. As Hercules stepped closer, Cerberus leaped. Hercules flung himself forward and grabbed the dog. After a long struggle, the dog sank to the ground, defeated. Hercules took him across the river Styx and all the way back to King Eurystheus. "Here is Cerberus. I have finished my 12 tasks." As always, the king wasn't that pleased to see him. Hiding in the pot again. Hercules went straight to the temple to see the priestess. "The gods have forgiven you for killing your sons," she said. "Well done, my son." The other gods were proud of Hercules. They welcomed to their home on Mount Olympus and kept him safe on all of his adventures from then on. Okay. So, this is Hercules. He had to fight a lot and kill a lot to accomplish the 12 tasks. Okay. So, if you like books like this, I really recommend Usborne Young reading books. Okay. There's lots of good titles. Take care. Goodbye.